What's going on, guys? Been a little busy, as you can see from the mill table here. Got chips and curls everywhere, and really probably need to try to, take a little bit of time clean that up. But I think you all know how it is when you get into a project that you're excited about and want to make progress on. You put things like housekeeping on the shelf. So we'll see. I kind of dust things off as I can, but I really need to get the shop vac out and, you know, kind of pay some attention to that. But anyway, been doing a lot of drilling. I got the counter bore in here. 25/64, I think it is. I just happen to have laying around. It's actually the size I use for a knife pivot bearing that I get from Alpha Knife Supply. Works really well for those. The only thing I didn't have was actually the pilot, so ended up turning one of those on the lathe, which worked out really well. And I gotta say, there's few things that are as rewarding or make me as excited as having the tools and materials I need to make something when I need it, and not having to wait, for the postman to drop something off or go all the way to the hardware or who knows where. To get something that I don't have, and not only does it save money, but in some cases it saves time. So definitely happy about that. Now I got a 1/4" pilot for this, whatever that shank size is. I think it's a 3/32 shank that goes in here on a set screw. I do actually have a 1/4" pilot for another counter bore. But I think it's got a larger shank on it. It's about 3/16 or some odd size like that. So it was too big. I could have turned it down just the shank, but then I wouldn't have it for the counter bore that I need it for. So just made my own. It just took a few minutes, and there it is. Now it is mild steel. It may eventually wear, but with cutting fluids or oil, it should actually last quite a while without needing to be too hard. The other thing I'm really glad that I made is this thing here. I've been running this table up and down, all afternoon and evening, putting different size pieces, tooling, drill chucks, you name it. It saved me all kinds of time and effort, and works actually better than I thought it would. So definitely happy about that. And once again, grateful for Dale over at Metal Tips and Tricks for kind of motivating me to get out here and make one of those. So definitely been giving the mill a workout tonight, and as I said, making some progress here. Got the motor side of the main body plate over here, tapping some holes, and incidentally, actually discovered a new type of duck call. So if I wake up in the morning and there's a flock of ducks out in the yard, maybe I'll start my own reality show. But in all seriousness, I really need to get a different kind of tap. This is working. It's a 4-flute Vermont American from the big box store. Probably not exactly made for this kind of tapping. It's more of a hand tap, and while it does the job, it is a little bit slow and definitely warms that drill up. And actually I haven't even been using this for a few minutes, and it's still quite warm to the touch. So I'm going to look into maybe some fluted taps, spiral flutes, or even some forming taps. I don't know if those would be better, but if I'm going to be doing this with any kind of regularity, which, who knows if I will or not, but definitely need to get something that's a little bit more efficient. Now, I do need to go to the store tomorrow and get a 9/16 by 12 pitch, I believe it is, tap for the threaded inserts for my adjustable handles or knobs that'll hold the tool arms in place. I went ahead and drilled all those holes to size. Definitely should have made them a little bigger from the water jet, but you know, that'll be a change for the next time if there is one. Other than that, you know, really just tapping the rest of these holes. This thing's pretty much ready to go, or at least done, other than putting the final finish on it. Over here, got some pieces counterboard. You know, the uprights, the side plate there, the drive side, or operator side rather, main plate, and actually got a 1/4 inch socket cap screw. This is I think a 1/2 inch 1/4 by 28. Not the one I'll be using, but it's got the same size head, and you can see that actually looks pretty good. If it'll focus. Oh, the lighting's not too good here. But just about perfect with that 25/64 counter bore. So really happy with that. I think that'll look pretty sharp when everything's put together. As far as the depth, I didn't want to go too deep on these. I went about halfway, so I still have a 1/4 inch of material underneath. Probably well more than enough, but you know, I always get a little bit nervous, especially on softer metals like aluminum. You know, in reality, it'd probably take several 100 pounds of torque to blow the back of one of those out, if not more than that. But you know, I haven't really done the math. I'm not much of an engineer, so in the meantime, we'll just kind of go by what I think looks good. So that's that. You know, I still got a lot to do with these other parts and pieces. Probably gonna start drilling the through holes for these tool arm slots tomorrow. You know, those will go on the back side, but 5 of those there. Maybe start working on the tracking arm, tracking assembly. I actually need to counterbore this while I got the counterbore set up in the middle over there. Maybe I'll go do that after I cut the camera off. But we are making progress, and you know, I'm hoping if I can get out here and get a few hours tomorrow before my parts and pieces come in. If they come in tomorrow, maybe late tomorrow night, I'll actually be halfway ready to start assembling some of this. If not, then definitely maybe the following evening. My wife's got to work, I think, on Tuesday, so I probably won't get out in the shop during the day. And I think there's some other things going on tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. I'm really not in any hurry, as I've said. Definitely don't want to rush things, make mistakes, you know, start putting things together and find out I've put all my counterbores on the wrong side or something stupid like that. So definitely going to take our time and make sure this is put together as well as it possibly can be. And I think so far we're on the right track. So that's pretty much it for the update, guys. I don't think there's really anything left to say that I haven't said already. So if you guys want to see more updates, less updates, if I'm not showing quite enough of the process, let me know. I'll see what I can do there. I really don't want to burn you guys out, although these videos are probably as much for me as they are for you, just to kind of see how things go together and get my thoughts out loud. But again, if there's something you want to see, or you know, maybe you couldn't care less either way, let me know, and I'll change things up a little bit. But other than that, I think we're going to call it a night, and I'll see you guys on the next one.